call the July 19th,
Yep, I think what you
2023
sent to me, yep.
annual
I believe
meeting
so.
to order at 7:01 PM. First, we will install our newly elected board members. We have Michelle Elston and Cindy Christensen, who are re-elected for a 3-year term, and Cody Alman, who is re-elected for a 1-year term. And we will welcome Tyler Schleck to the board for a 3-year term, and thank Brett Fair for his commitment and dedication to BCN.
I have something
Appreciate
for you,
it.
sir. I want to thank you for everything you've done. Appreciate it.
And good luck going forward.
Okay.
And everybody has completed all the required paperwork, so we are good to go.
Okay.
So next thing, I will call for nomination and election of president.
You're off.
You're off.
I elect Mike Schwer to be president.
Second.
Is that Rob?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other nominations? If not, we need a motion for nomination cease at some point.
I move we cease nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Mike Schwer.
I second.
Rob?
What?
Rob.
Yes. Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tyler?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will jump to the next. We need a nominations for vice president.
I'd like to make a statement. I'm currently vice president, but I have some personal health issues going on right now that I just don't know that I could, if I would have to do president, could do that at this moment. So for that reason, I would like to nominate Jennifer Bolenberg.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Oh, damn.
Cody has a second. Any other nominations? Any other nominations?
Is she okay with that? She ain't here, so she's saying. The wrong day to be like, yeah.
Third time, any other nominations? Not, we'd look for the same motion.
Make motion to cease nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for Jennifer Bolenberg.
I will second.
Roll call, Lindsay.
Rob?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Cody?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tyler?
Yes.
Okay, agenda, any additions?
Yes, we just in the last couple of days got some tuition agreement, open enrollment.
Tuition agreement, open enrollment. Okay. Any others?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the amended agenda with that addition.
So moved.
Eric, is there a second?
I'll second.
Cody? All in favor of approval of amended agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Next is our consent agenda. Do you have any questions on the minutes, bills, or financial reports? Any questions on any of those, or comments? Good at the end of the year here, Mr. Curry?
What's that?
You come out good here at the end of the year, fairly decent?
Yeah, it's, when you look at it, as far as the financials, when you look at it, when you take into consideration that we paid for a bus from last year and we paid an extra bond payment, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I still think we're at about, 96% of our expenditures as far as budget-wise, so we were cut down, a little bit on that, and hopefully continue to work on that, and, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, there was nothing, looking at it, I was.
That 96% is including the bus and.
Yeah, all that stuff, yes, yeah, of what our expected expenditure, initial budget was gonna be. So, yeah, overall, I was pleased with it. There's still work to do, but
Okay,
Did you notice any areas where the budget was quite a bit off?
Lindsay?
I mean, Other benefits is always significantly off, but we have that conversation every year because we account for things that could happen, because if people quit, if all those different things that play in to it.
Yeah, and then I think in, this discussion for later in the agenda, but when you see the proposed budget for this year, you'll see higher amounts, especially in that others area in the new budget too. For that, because like Lindsay said, it's hard to come up with a number for that area.
Because it's just an unknown. If nobody retires and nobody quits, then it's gonna be almost zero. But if 5, 6 people retire, it's gonna be a lot more,
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
Something you have to budget for and I guess hope not to spend.
Any big shortfalls that you've seen?
fuel was good. We were able to buy fuel this
Fuel,
year
we
off of last
overspent.
year's, yeah. On that. So that was good, but no, I mean,
Personally, for me, I look more so at like the end of each section totals. So like you can look at library, for example, and that one was over because we had a retirement, had to pay out,
Yeah.
some of those extra things, so.
Any other questions? Any bills, minutes, or financial reports? Not, do we need a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Rob. When you're ready, Lindsay, roll call.
Rob,
Yeah.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Okay, move on. No patron business? that
nope,
we have?
no patron.
Administrative reports, anything additional in here?
Just, I guess the biggest thing on mine is I just have board retreat, looking at, I was hoping to do that in August. I know I'd like to do it before people get busy and harvest and doing that, so I don't know if that's something we wanna look at a date. Right now, as far as doing that, I think I put some topics on there that I'd like to look at it. It's not gonna be, I don't plan on an all-day thing, but, find a place where either get supper there or supper delivered and 2 or 3 hours and probably just go through some, I guess what I would call some hot topics or some big things that we gotta look at this upcoming year and probably moving forward in the future. With some of that as far as, goals, more so mine. Open positions, virtual learning days, finances, enrollment, those kind of things. So I don't know if that works or not for people. I know before you used to do it in March, but like I said, I kind of like it in August because it kind of sets the year.
That's where we're going.
Yep,
I was completely against board retreat until we had one. The board retreat, I think, is a poor name for it. It's just open discussion.
Correct,
Because we
yeah.
can't just have a free and open discussion at a board meeting, because if it's not on the agenda, we don't get to talk about it.
correct. Right, and that's the
Having
same
that
with this.
discussion before the school started to set some goals and
Yeah.
to find out where we're sitting is probably not a bad idea, but for me, it's like the the second week of August on, I'll be pretty busy.
Right, and
So
that's,
we'd have to schedule them pretty quick if that's possible.
yeah. Yeah, I guess that's why, unless somebody thinks there's a better time or whatever, but like I said,
Farm-wise, the first part of September, you're usually done with small grains and haven't started on beans yet, but there's a million things
Small one.
going on in those 2 weeks that you have.
right.
Anybody else's thought?
I mean, if we wanted to do it early August, in that first couple of weeks, I mean, we could look at a place and get it set up, and like I said, I pretty much know what I wanna talk about, unless Mike has some other things from the board perspective. And you're not gonna be able to hash over everything.
No, and you can't make any decisions
For-
out of
you
that
can-
either.
Yeah, I mean, it is, legally, it's an open board meeting. People could come. You try to deter people from coming because, I mean, the idea is no decisions are going to be made. that evening, and you want open conversation.
Is this like an evening thing, or?
Yeah, most time, like I said, I mean, if we could schedule it, you know, like 5 to 8, 6 to 9, someplace, something like that, and, you know, either have it here or have it someplace else and have supper and,
We did J&L's last time, right?
Yeah.
San
yeah.
Juan.
But I think most of them we've had have been like
Yeah.
a evening, like he says, from
Yeah.
I think
2-3
the
hours.
sooner the better, honestly, like Eric said. I'm open, I know, the first part of August other than the second, so.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm open to dates. I don't have a calendar or my phone with me unless somebody wants to.
anything in the first couple weeks that doesn't work, that anybody's got, he can maybe.
I
try
got
to
the
line-
second, that doesn't work.
Okay.
That's it.
August 2nd?
Cause there's a football meeting, player meeting that night, so.
There is.
For what grades?
High school. I don't know what exactly.
Yeah, and August 8th,
What's that?
29th.
August 8th,
is
we
the
have,
first. I believe it might be the second, and we're going to
school bus.
Montana, so.
Okay, so
bus
it's for the
driver
second.
training here
Yeah.
that night, so that won't work for me. And
Looks like something after the second.
okay,
The 4th is like a Friday, or what are you thinking?
Yep, fourth Friday.
What day of week are you thinking, or does it matter?
I don't think it really matters. I don't-
yeah, I think it's just a matter of when it works
Yeah.
for people.
I'm out of town the 4th to the 6th, and possibly the 3rd now because my mother's having surgery, so.
Okay,
Oh, just one more thing.
till when? The sixth
I'll be back the
possibly?
6th.
I'd rather not have a Friday night. if
Right,
that's
no,
okay.
great. How about, does 7th or 9th work, or is that too late, Eric?
That'd probably work.
That's a
Would we
Monday
do
or
Monday the
Wednesday?
7th?
What's that?
Monday the 7th, would that be better?
Yeah, I got a meeting on the 9th, so.
Okay.
the 7th
Can we
would work.
try the
We're gonna
7th?
shoot for the seventh.
Yeah. Okay,
Monday the seventh.
any preference on where?
You set up, I
Okay.
think, where you wanna go.
Okay,
So we're looking at like what time are you thinking?
do you wanna go 6 to 9?
6 to 9? Okay. Okay,
When did you say the bus clinic is?
August 8th,
Oh,
Tuesday night from 6 to 10, but we're gonna have a meal from like 5 to 6.
6 to 10?
Well, you know how it works, you get done early, so.
okay. Okay, we'll work on that. You'll
Yep.
set a spot and get back to it.
Yep, okay.
Anything else?
No, just teaching positions, I got them out there. We were supposed to actually have a meeting for tech ed today, but that's gonna fall through because complications with the person that we were looking at meeting with, so.
Okay,
How many openings are left?
Well, I mean, we have ag, music, Phi-Ed for secondary, we have a verbal commitment right now. Business, but we do have, our librarian is teaching a couple business classes as well, and then tech ed.
Okay.
And with them, Tyler, we were kind of like the ag tech ed, we were hoping to get one or the other. Right now, neither of them, and there was 4 NDSU graduates in ag, and there was 23 openings in the state, so the numbers don't work.
Right.
Unless there's a local person that's interested,
and we're looking for one at VOTEC too.
Right,
Yeah, So
yeah.
we're looking all around,
Yeah.
everywhere.
so,
Salary, no.
yeah.
Okay,
Right now, music's probably
We'll take you,
the biggest one that we're
I don't know enough.
really pushing for, but once again, 15 whatever openings in the state, and there's none out there.
Yeah.
That one I mentioned to you, ever reach out? No?
okay. Did Wilson have anything? He didn't say
No, he didn't say anything, I know he's just kind of scrambling with the schedule.
Okay. Mrs. Bussey, anything additional from your report, or any questions of Mrs. Bussey?
One thing I had real quick, since he doesn't have a report, is there anything on the extracurricular AD part of it that he's mentioned to you? Any news or?
No, not really. Yeah,
So, Bitch, you had a short little note, anything
Yeah, I'm
else?
just plugging away on class rostering and devices, and our new teachers are ready to go, and hopefully we'll have at least one more or 2 more, we're lucky.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
it's just basic summer stuff.
Okay, any questions anybody has there? We had no committee reports this last week.
Nope.
Okay, we'll roll into our new business, the time and place of regular meetings, which are, that we had in the packet. Anything that, we have them a couple times, we gotta move them up to meet century code for superintendent evaluations, but other than that, it's usually the third Wednesday.
And I defaulted to the June 24th date based on
Oh,
a
the
second
election.
Tuesday election,
Election.
because that kind of just, I think, is what everybody agreed is
We
gonna
thought
work
we'd
best.
stay with primary dates. Yeah. So we would need a motion to approve our time and place of our regular meetings.
I will make a motion to approve the time and place. Lucian,
Is there a sec,
I'll second.
by Cindy? Whenever you're ready, I'll Lindsay, just go for roll call.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle.
yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Second one is the board committee and appointments. I sent what we thought we would have for that as a proposal. Everybody okay with that proposal that came up? And I did talk to some of them that switched some around, so everybody was okay with some of their switches that we did there. Unless anybody has any questions, that's our proposal for committees.
Why did I not see that?
Do you need a copy? I have one.
I didn't change.
No, yours was the same.
Okay. Thank you.
God, I should've changed you, Rob. We need a motion to approve committees and appointments.
I'll make a motion to approve committees and appointments.
I'll
Do we need to
second.
list them, or not, Lindsay?
We just, as presented.
As presented, okay.
I second.
And Michelle's got the second. You just go when you're ready with the roll calls, Lindsay.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Next one is school board compensation. Right now, we have $75 for regular meetings and $50 for committee meetings. We need a motion to accept that or to make a change.
I'd have a comment on that.
Okay.
We've got a lot of budget cuts coming, and I think it'd be maybe a decent show of faith if we did something with what we're paying ourselves.
Okay?
I would have no problem removing it completely, but I don't know what everyone feels about it.
Okay.
I'm fine with that too, I guess.
So we need a motion to do one or the other.
So, no.
I would make a motion to remove the payment to the school board.
I would second that.
And mileage, I wanna ask for both, mileage and all compensations,
Yeah.
okay? Just so we're clear on the motion.
So compensation and mileage?
Yep.
Are you like, peace out? Your face
And that
dropped.
was Eric and Cody, correct?
Yep. Any other discussion? If not, any discussion? Not roll call.
You start that on the other side of the table?
Sure.
Tyler's never got paid yet, so.
Right, that's how we start.
Tyler,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Rob, or Eric,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Rob.
Yeah.
Should I put reluctantly?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, we need to appoint or approve our business manager, which is Lindsay.
Come to the board.
Just need a motion
I
to
make a motion to appoint Lindsay as our
approve Lindsay as our business manager.
business, approve, sorry,
Yep.
approve Lindsay as our business.
We need a second to that.
I'll second it.
Tyler? Oh, we can vote no now, Lindsay, go for it.
Rob,
Yeah.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Okay, E, it's the authorization of investments. It's a motion to authorize Lindsay Polk and Andrew Curry to make investments and move funds on behalf of the school district. You need that motion.
I'll make a motion of authorization of investments to authorize Lindsay Polk and Andrew Curry.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Cody?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
F is the next one, it's check authorization, it's for the general fund, activity extracurricular, food service funds, building fund. So it's Lindsay Polk, business manager, these are for who can sign, Lindsay Polk, Andrew Curry, and myself, board president. Need that motion for signers.
I'll make the motion for signers.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Michelle?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Next is our travel rate reimbursements. At the state rate, and our meals, our breakfast at $10, lunch at 15, dinner at 25. And then, do those go in with the travel rates, with the breakfast for students? Yeah, it would be for our trips. Student meals are $8 for breakfast, $10 for lunch, and $15 for dinner. That's what we have now.
I make a motion to accept the reimbursement rates as read.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Michelle?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Our district paper. So what have we really done there for that in the past?
Times Record, I imagine, and I publish my
You publish
election
them.
notices in the Times Record and the Jamestown Sun.
Yeah, we've been doing it, but we gotta list one, is what we gotta do? Okay.
Isn't there one out of Wimbledon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
new-
it's just, I
Newsletter.
think,
Newsletter.
local to Wimbledon people. I don't think you can subscribe.
You
Yeah,
can,
you
you can,
can,
you
yeah.
can, yeah,
Yeah.
you can subscribe to it, but, so we need a motion to approve a district newspaper.
I'll make a motion to use Times Record as our district paper.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Cindy?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
And I is appoint a representative of the Cheyenne Valley Special Education Unit, which is Mr. Curry right now.
You're currently doing that, right? That's what you've
Yep.
been.
Yep. So we need a motion to appoint him again.
I make a motion to appoint Mr. Curry to represent the Cheyenne Valley Special Ed Unit.
I will second.
Second by Michelle.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
J is consider designate Andrew Curry and Lindsay Polk as authorized representatives for Title I, II, IV, and School for Food Service. Which are what they are doing right now.
I'll make a motion to designate Andrew Curry and Lindsay Polk.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Eric?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
K is consider Mrs. Bussey as foster care liaison.
I'll make a motion to consider, or not to consider, but to appoint. To appoint Mrs. Bussey as foster care liaison.
I'll second.
Second by Rob.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Next one's L, let's consider appointing Mr. Wilson as homeless education designee.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Wilson as homeless education designee.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Eric?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Next one, M, is to consider appointing Mr. Curry as Title IX Director.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Curry as Title IX Director.
I'll second.
Michelle?
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
And is to consider approval of principals as the authorized representatives for the school immunization law based on Century Code.
I'll make the motion for approval of principals as representatives.
I'll second.
Second by Rob.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
O is to consider appointing Mrs. McMillan as the 504
And
coordinator.
then
And
so
that's
we-
one of the
The
changes.
changes that you're
Yep.
gonna go to Sarah, right?
Correct.
Yes,
Mrs. Anderson.
Yep.
Mrs. Anderson.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mrs. Anderson as the 504 coordinator.
I will second.
Roll call.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
P is to set the breakfast and hot lunch prices.
I sent those out,
Yep.
I guess,
You sent that in averages, is what you.
yep, that and state averages, for that adult breakfast question mark, because we don't, I believe, have a set price for that.
Yeah.
Elementary guess, the one in parentheses are kind of what discussion was, that Lindsay and I and, kind of discussed what we just set it at. I don't know if we've really ever had to charge anybody in the past for that. And I guess the only other request was making the elementary lunch the same price as the high school lunch for ease of tracking.
Okay. And whatever we set fits into the criteria that the state, we gotta be within so many, correct?
We're good because we were the same
Yeah.
as last year, so.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
Virtually, yeah.
Anybody got them numbers or look where we need to go there?
I'm trying to find them here.
I don't have extra copies.
Do you want a copy, Cody? I have an
Yeah,
extra
sure.
copy right here.
Great.
Just want to look at it.
So how much did we raise last year?
Oh, boy, a lot. I mean,
Yes.
people were paying zero the year
Yeah,
before,
we
2
had to
years
come up.
before, so.
Yeah, that was the hard thing. We were coming off of 2 years of non-payment.
Right, exactly,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest ask is to make the two prices for elementary and high school the same.
The same.
Oh, it's
That's
just the,
for lunch.
Yes.
Yes, breakfast,
yeah,
they
it's only
already
10
are.
cents difference.
Because
Right.
currently, if they're entered under the wrong school, then they have to spend hours going in and correcting the amounts by 10 cents for every student for the day. So that's the reason.
And with the new legislative passing that 200%, it's gonna be a reporting nightmare anyway,
Yep.
because the feds will pay us up to a certain amount and the state is covering that excess cost. So you have to report it
So there'll be new categories. There's
differently than.
federal free,
Mhm.
federal reduced, which is state free, and then regular state free.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
Mhm.
Dissertation.
So we need a motion for prices.
Yeah, so basically, if you do bump up elementary, it'll be approximately like $17.20 additional per year for that cost.
For that 10 cents.
Yep.
How do you want that motion read, that it's, everything would stay the same except for elementary lunch would be increased to,
I think you just read them,
just read them off?
read them off.
Yeah.
What each would be, yeah.
I steal your sheet, Cody.
Mhm.
Okay, I make a motion that our elementary breakfast be $1.50, elementary lunch be $2.75, middle school, high school breakfast be $1.50, lunch be $2.75, Elementary guest breakfast $2, lunch $3. Adult guest breakfast, what was it? Leave out at $2 and lunch $4.
That is the motion for our lunch prices. Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Rob? Okay.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Preliminary budget. Who wants to handle that? Lindsay, Mr. Curry, what do you wanna?
I'll let Lindsay have at it first.
Okay,
So I just basically looked at last year. Put in the updated salary information as best I can considering the open positions that are there. I kinda just used an average number and put those in. Under the board salaries section, for other professional, we are still accounting for, getting that 2-year audit done, so. Otherwise, nothing like extremely different. Under transportation, we did budget $130,000 for a bus. We did put another $100,000 for fuel, with the understanding that that would probably be a spring purchase for next year potentially. Kindergarten salary, you'll see pretty much doubles everything in kindergarten because we'll have 2 classrooms now. All my color coding for ESSER, that literally gets more confusing every year, so, ESSER 1 has been gone, ESSER 2, all those funds have been expended, so we only have ESSER 3 funds left.
so we're done with 1 and 2, we're
Yep.
just to 3.
Yep.
Okay.
And so this budget spends all of the ESSER 3 funds that are remaining, by the end of the fiscal year. And that amount is, if my fingers would work, $350,888.78. So, the biggest purchase out of there is that ELA curriculum that we've already bought and is sitting out here in the commons. Otherwise, I mean, we have the title estimates, or, you know, as close as we can get. Oh my gosh. In talking with Mr. Curry, as far as revenue goes, I left the exact same dollar amount for the general fund that we levied last year, based on those extra mills because of the tax valuation decreasing, so I just went with that number, because we can't actually levy any additional mills if our tax valuation.
But we can still hit that same number.
Correct, yep. And then in visiting with Mr. Curry, we figured we should levy some miscellaneous mills instead of the special reserve this time, because the miscellaneous mills can be spent for anything, and because our ending fund balance doesn't come into play now until 2027, we can try to get us a little further in this transition minimum loss that we're experiencing.
So how many mills did you calculate in it, of the miscellaneous?
We do 6?
Do we do 6 total or 9?
9, I think we might have done 9.
I think
We did
9 because we
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 flip-flopped
threw in
twice.
6, because you can do up to 12.
You can
Yeah.
12, yeah?
So we threw in 6, but then we took the 3 that we do for special
Yeah.
reserve
And
and just moved them into miscellaneous, because all that money can go into general fund instead of special
There's
reserve.
an increase of 6.
Correct.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
And, that can always go to the building fund or go to the special reserve if ever needed also.
Yeah. And like Lindsay said, the thought behind that is now we have the freedom, with no ending fund balance, you know, to do what we want with our money and spend it how we need to, instead of just spending it sometimes to spend it down to get below that 35 and 50. So it gives us more wiggle room and more options with the miscellaneous than it does with the special reserve.
Does
Right
it
now
give
is
us
that-
more room, or does it just make it a bigger problem in 2027?
No, I
I
think
mean, when are we gonna have to watch our,
I guess, and this is just my thought, Eric, I don't know if they're ever gonna bring the ending fund balance back.
well, that'd be great.
Well,
it's
But
right.
but if we just keep rolling as much
Then
forward and then
at
in
some point-
27, we gotta
Some
wash it
point-
all, what are
You
we
can
gonna
transfer
spend
to the
on?
building fund, you can transfer to
Yeah.
the special reserve.
From the general?
Yes,
You can just
You
take
can't bring
everything?
it back. but
You can't bring
can
it back,
transfer
but you
out.
can move it out.
So the money wouldn't just be gone.
And can we pay for our bond out of the building fund?
No.
Depends.
depends upon how you wanna look at it,
So that's a yes.
depends upon who you ask, I mean,
So
I
that-
wouldn't
that
bank,
takes
I wouldn't
care of
bank on that.
depends who asks, or who you ask. For that,
So you
but,
would- and you
but you
wouldn't-
could go special reserve, but the problem with that
You
is,
can only buy half that.
correct, you're only pulling half out at a time.
This would stay with none on the building fund. then,
Right,
correct?
but, yeah,
I mean,
but,
in this, what you
correct,
got.
but going back to your point, yes, you just have to slide that money then. If they do bring the ending fund balance back, I mean, if we are in that situation, which we hope we are, that we'd have to move it over, like Lindsay said, special reserve as much as we could, up to that 15 mil cap, and then the rest would go into building.
So what's the max our miscellaneous can be at?
You can max 12 mils for it, so you could go more if you wanted to.
12 is the you get 70 mils is your max in general, 3 in the special reserve, 12 in miscellaneous.
Yeah,
And we're voted in for 10 on building. That's our
General
max.
70 and we're at 70.
We're at 70.
And miscellaneous is 12 and
12.
we're at 6.
well,
Nine.
if this is approved, we
Would be
would
at
be
nine.
at
They're looking at
9,
to go 9,
Oh, okay, yeah. And special reserve, what's the max?
3.
3,
3
And we'll be back
total,
at 0.
yeah.
And we'll
up
be
to
back to
15, yeah.
Which this can be adjusted, but we need to turn some
Yeah,
preliminary
the
in.
preliminary budget is due August 10th.
And each mill's about 33,000.
And 31, we had a significant decrease last year, so.
The property taxes from Spiritwood.
Till they start ramping back up.
Mhm.
And we can make adjustments to this up till October, but we need to have a preliminary turned in first part of
The
August.
final budget will be presented in September and budget and finance will meet and everything.
We will look at
Flush it
this
out,
more.
so.
We need a preliminary to start.
So do we need a motion?
Yes,
So
we need to make a motion for the preliminary budget.
I'll just make that motion for the preliminary budget.
I'll second.
Is that Rob?
Yep. Rob. Roll call when you're ready.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Contract amendments, do you have on there?
Yep. Gotta find them. All right, so I have 4, I think. Yep. The first one is for Krista Amon to move to BS plus 40. Do you want dollar amount changes?
It fits the negotiated agreements. I don't know, unless anybody else wants them or
No,
not. I don't think we need that.
We have Sarah Anderson to move to masters. We have Mariah,
She was from BS and 40 to master? Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
we have Mariah to move to BS plus 8. Mariah Hanson. And we have Lane Klazinski to move to BS plus 16.
We need a motion to approve those amended contracts, and then Lindsay, I'm sure, has new ones to sign, I'm guessing, right?
Yep.
I make a motion to approve the amended contracts. That's all I gotta say, right?
Yep.
I'll second it.
I didn't wanna have to list them all.
Yep, you're gonna memorize them, Ralph. Okay, Lindsay, roll call.
Rob.
Yes.
Eric, or, Jesus. Cody.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Cindy.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
I've been this confused, I don't.
Okay, next is handbooks.
Well, are the other contracts all back in then?
Yes, yep, yes.
Yes.
And they're all in, there's no extent, there's no.
Yep, there was a couple more in the folder for Mike
Yep,
to sign,
signed
but
here
everybody
tonight,
met the
yep.
deadlines and,
Yep, everything's met the deadlines
Yep.
and been presented, yeah.
I got 2 things. My name is highlighted for some reason.
Cause it was a change, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then is there a high school handbook?
That's the next question I have too.
I
Cause
see
we
the
thought
staff
last
Yes.
year we wanted them
elementary,
done
but-
before
I
school started.
highlighted all the
Yes.
changes to make it easy for you guys to see what
And
was
you-
added.
Yeah, and you won't see
That will
JR's
be
till the
highlighted.
August meeting,
Okay.
but you will see his at the next meeting.
Okay. Cause I know we talked about
'Cause-
wanting them done before school started.
Right, yeah,
Are they
because I think
normally
actually
the
we
same?
went through them in our August or September last year, I believe.
Do they normally, the elementary, all of them come out at the same time, or is this normal?
This is our first year doing it.
Right, so this is, last year was
Last
the
year.
first year
Yeah,
Okay.
that we had
brought
a
'em
staff
to get
handbook
approved, yes.
and bringing separate secondary and elementary handbooks forward, so this is the second year with it.
No,
Yeah.
that'll go home with the students and have to be signed and returned, or what's the process?
I'll have just the sheet at the end. Kim will have it in the office, so I know that they got a copy, and then it says you can't say that you didn't.
so will that be at registration or when?
That'll
would-
be a registration.
Yeah, so the other one won't be ready at registration then if we haven't approved it.
Well, with registration being early, for Mr. Wilson, to be honest, I don't know if his schedule is gonna be ready next Monday either. So I got a feeling secondary kids might be coming in August when
Can I ask why that one wasn't done with the rest of them?
Mr. Wilson's, I guess I don't know, maybe, and I didn't tell him I wanted it done in July, because in last year we did it in August. Mrs. Bussey just happened to have hers done earlier now, mine was done, so that's why I threw it in here. It's still with the intent of looking at the secondary one in August.
Why is the schedule not set? Is it because of the teachers? or-
Correct, yes. So, I mean, if we were, like I said, we were supposed to have a meeting with tech today. If that would've went through, that would've changed the whole schedule. Still grasping straws on music. If that happens, it changes the whole schedule. FIAD, like I said, is a verbal right now because there has to be some, licensure stuff finished before we know for sure that that happens. So if something were to happen and that falls through, that changes everything as well, so.
So what happens if we hire no more teachers? Every one that's open now is open the entire year.
What happens with it?
Yeah, how does the schedule get filled then?
It gets filled with online classes, whether it's through ITV, with that CDE, which I know, and I don't want to speak for Mr. Wilson, CDE, which is not the greatest option because at least with online you have face-to-face, even via computer. It's with that, using the VOTEC as much as we can with those kids, using our staff with as much as we can. Really, what we're down right now is, that extra business that Mr. Purcell taught. Is if we fill the FIAD, and I guess the music part of it.
I am working with Valley City, Student Placement, Kim Knodel, and University of Jamestown to see if the numbers are really low across the board. So there was one from the two that was student teaching this fall, and she had already committed to a job as a student teacher. So next semester, hopefully there'll be somebody student teaching and they know that we're looking, and I actively reach out to them and bug them.
It's hard to really know what your replacement rate's gonna be with people retire, with whatever happens,
Right.
but this issue's not gonna get easier
No.
going forward. I mean, is that something that we can put on that board retreat if we do that, is
one
just
of the things
focus?
It is one of the things on there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's, we're gonna have
Because,
to put some real
yeah,
focus.
right now, I mean, I've talked to a person about the egg position, but they don't have enough hours or classes, college classes to be able to do it. But the idea is hopefully within a year to get them in the building, so it's just a matter of keeping in constant communication with them and seeing where we're at, and I think once, if we can work with them and get them in, I think we're gonna be good. It's a matter of getting them through the process, getting them licensed by ESPB in whichever way, shape, or form, whichever one we have to use to start with, and working with them, whether it's a praxis or a alternative access license or a teaching out of area license, whatever it is. But, I mean, it's getting through the hoops of the college credits or the number of hours working in a certain field, or even getting them through ESPB to one of those points. Well, they'll say, yep, they're good for 2 years, but they need to work on this.
And so you can hire them in condition that they will meet their
Yes,
requirements.
to finish,
Right,
but they've gotta
yes.
have so much in to get
But they have to
started.
have so much into it to even get that initial licensure, one of them from ESPB, that is kind of the hang up. So met with university yesterday with VCSU, said Mrs. Bussey's been talking to both Jamestown and VCSU, so we're trying to expedite the process a little bit of getting these people in education into our buildings sooner in their college career, even if we gotta pay them to do it, but it's a process.
One question I have, maybe it's off topic, but not, but one of the opening positions is the secondary physical, what Mrs. Albright did.
Yep.
Question I have, it'd be nice if Wilson was here to answer this, but with fall sports coming soon, who is doing the impact testing and everything? Because basically those practices are starting within a couple weeks.
Right.
I know football, Callahan is doing it down there.
Yeah.
But what about like the volleyball and stuff?
And with some of that, we can contract AT services out
Okay.
still, if that's what the board so chooses. I've talked to Alyssa about that, and it doesn't have to be her, it can be anybody. So that's something we can still contract out and do. To be honest, in every other school that I've been in, I've had an AT come in maybe once a week, but the coaches did the impact testing of the sport. And it,
I just asked because I seen,
and the impact testing, basically, Cody, started, not to elongate or make this long, started in football, the concussion, with that. It kind of carried over into some of the other sports and activities, just because, you can see them in volleyball, you can see them probably more so in basketball as well. So is it something you have to do? No. Is it something that is nice to do? Absolutely, because you have that baseline.
Right.
But yes, it may be something that, we could contract out, or might be something we add to, what our coaches need to do preseason as well.
Yeah.
Is Mr. T able to do more hours for Fayed to like pick up the slack, or is he full?
Yeah, that was gonna be another question I had, was,
and
does
that's
he have
what-
more flexibility to cover
And that's
that?
what would if we didn't fill it, the secondary, that's what would happen. But then, of course, we're losing out on electives and other things for our secondary kids, as far as the health classes that they get, so they get health, high school and junior high, plus they get Fayed, plus weight training, plus all this other stuff. If it was just Mr. T throwing his elementary schedules, and you maybe throw in a couple more, like a junior high Fayed and a high school Fayed, and that would be it, then they wouldn't get those other things. And that's where we need the electives, I guess, right now, until we can get, and we're gonna keep these positions open until we can, and keep looking, until we hopefully fill one or two of them for that. But it's gonna take time, and who knows how long it's gonna be, if ever. I'm not gonna sit here and, say, oh, absolutely, we're gonna find somebody. I don't know if we are or not. I'm being optimistic, like I said, ag, I'm optimistic we're a year away from having an ag teacher.
You're still gonna keep in contact with the one we talked this year because she had some other options.
Right.
'Cause she said
For that
maybe-
one, and I've got another one,
Yeah.
but that requires more schooling.
Right.
For that, so it's time for that. I mean, tech ed, I'm not really sure, like I said, I had somebody who was interested in it, but personal, something just came up, like I said, we were supposed to meet today, something just came up on Sunday, so it's not an option anymore. It's, her family, so.
So back to a question on the staff one. Now you have in for ticket takers. Where do you have all the other, like, referee? Is that, I mean, in your hand, the staff handbook, you just got ticket takers. I mean, you
As
got
far as for money,
money. Why is
Yeah.
that- Or why is that one there and not the others, or where do you keep them all?
the reason ticket takers are in there is because it's usually staff that does tickets.
Okay.
Referees, it's not always referees. That's something that I will recommend, well, I'll have Mr. Wilson bring to the board in August as far as, I suppose, referee prices for junior high games.
I know they
or-
got
or
switched last year,
elementary.
they just switched them, so I just wonder
Right.
where they're put
Yeah,
at.
that's why I don't put any of that in staff, because
So
it's
he
not
will,
always
he will
staff.
bring that next,
I will tell him to bring that to the next one, yes.
okay. And Ms. Bussey, I got a couple of
Yep.
edit ones in yours.
Go for it, let me pull it up.
Page 15, these are just simple edit things.
Okay,
You got late starts.
hold
Where the-
on.
Most of these are just edits.
That's okay, the one that was.
You can see I read
late-
it.
Oh, late start,
Yeah, the 1 hour late starts,
okay.
so school would start at not 8:30, but 9:30.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I say these are just edits.
Oh, wait, an hour late start, it
Yeah.
says 9 AM, buses start arriving.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's correct.
yeah, but go down to when does, then you got 8:30.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
classes start everything.
Look at you, Mike.
Yeah, I did read.
Top of his game.
That's great.
Page 17. You got preschool screenings will be the second Friday in March.
Yep,
The second Friday in March, according to our calendar, is no school parent-teach conferences.
I know, so I said it would be, the 2 weeks later,
Okay.
if it has to be rescheduled or whatever. I did
Because it
notice
said
that.
for weather, yeah,
I
so I'm just
did.
curious.
I
Okay.
did notice that this year, so I'd communicate that earlier.
Okay. Then, when we were talking about the therapy dog, the question was last spring, we got it in, you were gonna work on a schedule. We have our evaluation, our 5-year thing at the vocational, that contract's held by VOTEC, and we're listing her in elementary, and she doesn't get addressed in elementary at all.
No, she should not be listed
Should
in
not
elementary.
be listed in elementary at all,
With the therapy dog?
Yes,
yes. Or we need time, because we cannot get reimbursement for anything that she does in elementary.
Because I thought we were having someone else control the dog during that time.
Well, that's what I was saying,
Yes.
but it's in
Yeah.
her policy there. That's
We
one
would
thing.
still have them sign off on it, wouldn't we? Because
Yeah, but I don't
the
think you
dog
want
is
her
here.
name in there anywhere in
Yeah.
It'd be
elementary.
a second, different handler, wasn't it, Michelle?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
When they
thought.
look at that, we don't wanna see that name in elementary.
right. The idea hopefully
Yeah,
would be to get Ms. Anderson, acclimated with
Right.
Ace got a reserve
the
ribbon at
dog, and
4-H.
so that she could grab her and take her.
cause that'll affect how we gotta
Yes.
turn in your
Okay.
MS 103s and all that,
Yes.
that we can't have that anywhere listed in elementary.
So I didn't mean that the dog, that she would be listed there, just that the dog would be in, they would see him.
Yeah, that's why,
And
we just
Okay.
don't want
So I
the
just
name
took
in
out-
elementary.
List the dog's name.
Yeah, whatever.
So I just said, BCN has a therapy dog that
Yeah.
attends Barnes County North daily with its certified handler.
Perfect.
Okay.
We can't have that tie.
Yep, that's okay, got it.
Then I just had two questions you can clarify. You changed the stuff on working lunch for the kids.
Yes.
So why or what's considered in your mind multiple?
Multiple what?
What page is that on?
I don't know. I
It's
didn't
the
write
very
that
last one, page 25. So grades through 6, we go by threes.
Mhm.
So I actually have that as a question with the teachers on back to school PD of what that looks like, cause I want it to be consistent.
Okay. But then you
So-
said multiple, so my question
Yep.
is, what's your definition of multiple?
I would say 3, within a certain time frame.
Okay.
I just have to clarify that with the educators first, so we're all on the same page.
And the other, what is you listed a few times in there, what is our partnership with Dakota Family Service? And do we got grant money this year or what?
I am constantly talking to Kayla through them. She gave me some directions to go in with it and said that I'm more than welcome to write another letter. We're just looking at sustainability and out-of-pocket expenses and travel costs were just over, I'd have to look for sure, but probably like $7,000-ish, if I don't count. So we want, want to continue the partnership. I think it's been extremely beneficial for our students. Let me see if I can get a quick estimate of I would say about $5,000 for out-of-pocket expenses and travel to get here. And that's So- really what we're looking at sustaining.
So 300 and 500 are like generally those types of things.
Okay.
So they were like
Oh, so
8-ish.
8.
And then supplies were 2,600, which were just some additional things.
So I asked for 15 last year, so I'm gonna talk to them, and she gave me some contacts through some other people, but we plan on continuing that.
If we don't get the grant, that's what I meant, where do we go? Or what, is that something we gotta
That's
look?
what I'm working on,
Okay,
yeah.
so right now, you don't have one, that's where, right now, we
Right
don't
now,
have.
the grant is not in place, but I have been talking to Kayla about writing out a proposal for this coming year still.
Okay.
I wish it was in depth.
Yeah,
Thank you.
nobody has any other questions, we need motions to approve the staff handbook and the elementary handbook.
I'll make motions to approve both the staff and the elementary handbook.
A second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, Wendy.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Admission price for games. We need to set those. And I would suppose that would include, passes too,
pass.
yeah.
So you got on the sheet 7 and 10, or 7, excuse me, 7 for adult, 5 for student, 2 for senior.
Yep, that's what it was last year.
What happens in a doubleheader when there's a boys and a girls game at the same time?
The same rate, I believe, is what was happening.
Yeah, to my knowledge, it's been the same.
I think we changed that last year, because previously I think it was double.
Previously, it was different. Well, prior to COVID, it was different, and then COVID, everybody was like a flat $5, and then these were this year.
And then activity passes. They are good for everything that we are co-op in Valley City,
Mhm.
Yes, they accept those, yes.
so wrestling and football
And baseball and softball.
and baseball.
Well, and last year I think they printed cards for
Yeah, so
everyone
we-
that had an activity pass.
Yeah.
Just so when you do go to Valley City
They don't have
events,
to
you,
look you
you
up.
have something to show.
How many activity passes did we actually sell last year, just roughly?
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
Deb did it all, so
I was just curious, cause I mean, before we had hardly anybody purchase those, so, yeah, I was just curious what we did do with them.
If we set these, can there be, like, can they change it for a certain thing, or have, you know, a free gate for a game or something, or anything like, what, how set in stone is it, or who's got the ability to change it during the year?
Good question, I don't know.
I, like, change the actual cost.
Yeah,
Cause I know Title I, they put on there, if they're signed up for that Title I event, they would get admission free into the game.
so I don't know what that looks like, but
You're just talking a change for a certain game.
Yeah,
So,
we just tried to get people to come to a game.
I know,
It's free game,
but what
it doesn't
about
matter.
people, who like away people who are coming from another town? You wouldn't let them in free, would you?
Heck no.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so then your prices are still good. So you're not, I mean, but just to say, yeah, free for BCN
BCN
parents or
parents,
BCN something, I think you're fine, because you're still charging
I
those
think it-
people.
Honestly, if
prices
it's
are
free
still
for
set.
anybody, it should be like military passes or something like
Right,
that, but
yeah.
I think, I guess.
You'd be better off doing entertainment at halftime and try to get new people in or something, you know?
We're working on that.
I make a motion that we leave them the same.
I'll second that.
That's passes and admission?
Yep.
Okay.
Any questions, discussion? Not roll call.
Well, if it says current activity pass price, we have senior as question mark,
Here
does
we
that?
have a question mark for that.
No,
We don't have one right now. I didn't know if you wanted to set one or not, or, I mean, they paid.
I think our
$2
passes
for
at
it.
$50 is fairly reasonable in comparison to other places.
Well, I mean, if you took full advantage of
Yes.
that, I mean, you would be.
Your Valley
way
City
ahead.
one, the other local ones are a lot higher than $50 for a season
So if
pass.
they're at 50, what if the senior was at like 20 or something, or 25, half rate, I don't know, just thinking.
And like I said, we haven't had one, so you don't have to set one either. I mean, they can pay their $2 and come to the
$2
game,
or they
and,
buy a-
I mean,
Not
it's
knowing
pretty,
how many ever sold either, so it's
Right.
hard to tell, so.
yeah.
we never even offered one before.
Nope, nope. That's why I just put
No, we just.
question mark on
pass.
there and
Yes.
just for conversation.
Not leave it, just, we'll leave it.
We have the
my
motion
still
to
be
keep
leave
it
the
as
same
is.
as last year, with no senior pass then.
Yep. Motion is to keep it as status quo. Roll call, Lindsay.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Activity fees is the next one. Set activity fees. Which all did that encompass?
Do we charge activity fees?
no, that would
That's a
be
great question.
like an art fee, or isn't that? 'cause
Band
activity-
rentals.
Band rentals and.
Didn't, there used to be kids would buy a activity for events?
Oh, that was $20.
Yeah,
That would've been-
That's set with the other one.
Yeah, that was actually my intent, was that item U was the activity fee that passes.
Okay,
Yeah, for that.
okay.
So basically Eric made a
So
motion
We're covered.
that
We're
covered T and U.
Okay,
Yes.
we're
Done
good.
and done.
We're
Yeah,
done.
no, my intent was that,
Yep.
yeah, the pass was
Boy, we
the
got two
activity
done
fee.
in one shot.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, then we've got teacher, open enrollment and non-tuition agreement. How many do we have for this?
All right, I have a tuition, are we doing them each separately?
Probably.
Okay, so I have a tuition agreement coming from Griggs to us for high school.
Do we need a motion to approve that?
That's
tuition?
One
person.
student?
yeah,
student.
freshman.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Picked by Eric. Roll call on that, Lindsay.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. This one is resident of Maple Valley coming to BCN, one student in kindergarten.
Tuition agreement?
Tuition agreement,
Okay.
yes.
Need a motion for that one, student.
I'll make a motion.
Michelle, is there a second?
Second.
Tyler. Roll call, Eric.
Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
And then this open enrollment is for that same,
Same student?
yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for that student. Open enrollment.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Cindy. Roll call, Lindsay.
Hold on,
Nope,
I
you're good.
lied.
You lied?
Yeah,
I lied, it's the same student, but it's different schools.
What?
Cause I think they're moving.
The current
So I
address
think
is
they're
Oh, yes.
currently, and then they're moving, so it's actually Valley City.
Oh, I
to
got
be
you. The
seen
open enrollment
For
would
the
be from
open
a different
enrollment
spot.
for
Okay,
next
gotcha.
year, so,
So
I
that's
still
it?
make that motion.
okay.
Okay.
You still second it, Cindy?
Yep.
Okay. Rob,
Yes.
Cody,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Those forms are confusing.
That's all I
That's
got.
it?
Yep.
Okay. Got through that, right? Family Connection, do you have
Nope.
anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Career and Tech, we meet tomorrow, just what we've all been talking about tonight, how do we fill positions, how do we do whatever, but that's why we put it kinda later after everybody else had met this month, so. I got nothing else there till tomorrow. Like you said, you guys had a couple meetings that we'll discuss more tomorrow.
Right, yep, I'm sure you'll discuss pretty much everything we talked about yesterday.
Yeah. So, how about you, Cheyenne Valley Special Ed?
Special ed, actually, financially, I think we carried over 650,000, which is good. We didn't, they haven't really started, well, they hadn't finished a preliminary budget yet, so we're gonna see what that budget looks like in a couple
We're
weeks.
still gonna have these increased assessments?
That's what we're gonna look at. We don't wanna get back to where we were.
Okay.
Here's the problem, and it's a good problem for us, but it's bad on the flip side. Our enrollment is steady, or increasing a little bit. Everybody else is decreasing. So all that means is our percentage of payment
Goes up.
it goes up. Because their numbers are going down, ours are staying the same or going up. So our amount, I think ours went up 9% this year for that. Everybody else, Maple Valley's went up like 2%, everybody else went down for that. And that's part of being part of a special ed unit and whatever else. So once we have a better idea what the budget's gonna look like, then we're gonna decide if we're gonna leave those where they're at, knock them down a little bit, but knowing that we don't wanna get ourselves into the same situation we were last year and all of a sudden throw another 70,000 onto a district in August, going, oh, by the way, we have to add these to your additional assessment. With that, still looking for more so paras within the district than anything else for that, and that was really pretty much it.
Okay. New gal is there. full
New
time.
gal is there, yeah, getting her feet wet and getting used to it, and that's kind of why, so we appointed one of our board members onto the financial to help with the budget for the first go around for them, so.
Okay. All right. Next meeting, August 18th. We will have probably get together with.
7th.
No, the regular meeting is the 16th,
16th, yes,
but we're gonna have this retreat before you'll get back to us on the 7th.
yes.
Yes.
Correct, yep.
Okay. That, we're adjourned.
So are these null and void then?
Oh, we don't turn these in then?
Turn